The only man forced to stay in jail after being indicted along with former President Donald Trump says he is now working to make sure no one else shares his same fate. Harrison Floyd, who was the only black male defendant who had to stay in the Fulton County jail for days before reaching a bond agreement. His other co-defendants only spent a few hours in the facility. Atlanta News First Doug Reardon joins us live tonight. And Doug, Floyd says he is now working with the local bail bonds company to ensure other incarcerated people can pay for their freedom.
Right. Second chance bail bonds right up the road, actually, from the jail. They say that this is something they will do. They'll take donations to post people's bail inside the Fulton County jail, but they very rarely do it, accepting donations from someone who was very recently an inmate at that very same facility. Remember that Harrison Floyd was the only one of these 19 defendants to have to spend any time at all in a jail cell. As we set up to interview Harrison Floyd outside the Fulton County Jail Tuesday, inmates inside call out for help. 10 people have died inside the facility this year alone, and Floyd, one of 19 defendants in the sweeping Georgia election indictment, knows what it's like to be holed up in one of their cells.
Just a week ago, I was inside this jail.
Floyd spent 6 days in jail after turning himself in on 3 indictment charges. He is the only black male charged in the case and the only one who couldn't post bail right away. He's now set aside $72,000 from his own legal defense fund to bail other inmates out.
10 people have died in this jail this year. 10 people. That's one a month, and it isn't even October yet.
Working with a second chance bail bonds right up the road from the jail, they're taking requests from families of inmates who have no violent charges and no histories of addictions.
Especially fathers, because that's incredibly important to the black community.
While Floyd was eventually able to post his own $100,000 bond, he still faces a mountain of legal trouble. He's facing charges of witness intimidation, accused of pressuring Fulton County election workers Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman into making false statements. On Tuesday. Do you have a message for Shay Moss or Ruby Freeman tonight? Floyd declined to comment on the case. Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt also did not respond to Atlanta News First's request for comment on this year's jail deaths, but he said this to CNN last week.
We inherited this. There's no mistake about that. Overcrowding across the country has really taken precedence when you look at the number of arrests, the number of things, violent arrests in our facility. So it seems like an anomaly.
And Floyd told us today that his plan is to divide up that $72,000 so they can take requests from families to help with bail over the course of the next few days. He said if you do have a loved one in there who meets their criteria, all you have to do is reach out to Second Chance Bail Bonds here in Fulton County. We're live outside the Fulton County Jail tonight. Doug Reardon at Atlanta News First.